Hey everybody, it's Dusty White at Easy Tarot Lessons. Welcome to another Easy Tarot Lessons podcast. I am at the beach today, so I apologize for the wind noise, but I'm at the beach because this is my office. Oh yeah, Sharon's on the phone today. Hi.
Hi.
Sharon, you're not at the beach, are you?
No, I'm tethered to the computer.
Hi, Mr. Seagull. Yeah, it is like. So I wanted to bore everyone today with how great it is being a tarot reader and an astrologer by talking about what it's like and how to get here. I mean, sure, you can read cards. That's why you're listening. Or hopefully you're going to spend $1 and go to easytarotlessons.com and, get in school. Stay in school, kids. Don't do drugs. Um, Whether you go to Easy Tarot Lessons or not, you may go to another website and take lessons from them. Or you may read an endless number of books on tarot, like I did over 15 years. Like, I got to figure this out. You may be the 17th son of or daughter of a 17th, all that thing and gypsy blood and all that other stereotypical stuff. Yay, that's awesome. But the thing is, learn learn and practice. Nothing beats practice and nothing beats a really good education. And we try to give you one. So today, I want to run you through what it's like being like this is literally what you wake up and do. I ain't got no job. You ain't got no job. I ain't got no job. Nope, nope, nope. Landlord says, you ain't got no job. I'm saying, I don't need no job. He's like, as long as I get my money next Friday.
There you
That
go.
was like reference to George Thorogood, right? I don't believe you're trying to find no job. You're leaning up against the post. I probably have to pay him now for like royalties, or like song lyrics. Um, so the point is, if you're listening to this, you should either want to be able to quit your job, or you should be ready, or reading, ready to, or reading for a living. And if not, like I said, go to school. We will teach you all this stuff. Everything we talk about today here for free is covered in the course. It's late in the course because first you have to learn how to read the cards before we teach how to get clients. So today I want to talk about what's great about being a professional tarot reader, like hanging out at the beach and getting paid for it. What sucks about it, how to do it, how to break into it, some of the pitfalls, and how much can you make. And let's start with that. You shouldn't be listening here if you aren't desirous of making a minimum of $60 an hour. That's United States money. You could convert that to whatever, Um, but with the internet, you don't have to convert. You just jump on a U.S. website. Right? The point being, or get a Google phone number. Or you get a U.S. based Google phone number. And then you can charge American dollars and have them convert it for you, right? Um, Not to be xenophobic, just try to keep it simple. Dollar a minute, $1, one US dollar per minute is the standard minimum for any professional tarot reading. You'll see this in things like $10 for a 10-minute reading, $15 for a 15-minute reading. Sometimes it's $15 for a 10-minute reading, or $45 for a 30-minute reading. So sometimes people end up charging like $1.25, $1.50 an hour, excuse me, a minute. Now, if you're starting out and you're not comfortable doing that, you can charge 50 cents a minute. Um, the point is that even at half rate, even at a completely bargain basement Walmart super duper discount rate, that's still $30 an hour. I want to impress it on you because we don't do this because we want to live on welfare. We don't do this because we want to be looked down on as we're shaking our tin cup going, hey, we need a little coin. Whatever reason we read for people, I don't know, we want to help them, we're extremely talented, we're lazy, we don't like working for other people, we're ambitious. Everybody has different reasons. But the point is that you have the ability It's standard practice. Everybody else is doing it. So you have the ability to earn a minimum of $30 an hour, and you should be earning a minimum of about $45 or $60 an hour. And that's if you don't feel comfortable charging $1 an hour. You can still make $45 an hour.
Well,
I mean, $1 a minute. Yes.
you know how uncomfortable I've always been with charging. I mean, that's been a running issue with me, but I just raised my rates to 85 a reading because I had clients yelling at me that I didn't charge enough.
No, absolutely. And that's let's talk about that real quick, because I want to establish the dollar amount. I don't want to spend all day talking about the dollar amount, but I want to make sure we're clear. We're not talking about a $10 an hour job. You can go to McDonald's right down the street from where I live, and it says $12.50 an hour walking in off the street to start.
Wow.
I loved McDonald's. Well, loved meaning I grew up on it. I ate it. Not so much anymore. It's a rare treat because, I try to treat myself a little better, but it's McDonald's, right?
Yep.
McDonald's was one of my first jobs. But the point is that walking in off the street at whatever your age, 8 to 80, $12.50 an hour, that's just flipping burgers. That's saying, would you like fries with that? I mean, people make fun of people who didn't stay in school or didn't get some type of skill in life by saying, hey, would you like fries with that? Meaning this is going to be your next job. So with no denigration of McDonald's, because it's awesome. And unlike Starbucks, you might actually get tipped at Starbucks. People don't really generally tip at McDonald's, and they're kind of rude too. I've stood in line on both sides. Point is, there's no reason in the world why you should be reading tarot cards for $12.50. If you can flip burgers for $12.50, the least you should be charging for a tarot reading, or God forbid astrology, is $30 an hour. And $30 an hour is more than most people get paid in America. I'm going to bet. I want to see what the median hourly wage is. And if we knock off Beyonce and Mick Jagger and all these people that just wake up, Kardashians, right? I just woke up and made $100,000 because I sneezed. We look at the real working class of America. People are out there busting their butts, and maybe now all over the world it's even worse, right? So I want to tell you, this is why I want you to take your studies seriously and not think, oh, I know everything, or oh, I don't need to pay for school, or $1 a month is too much, or $10 a week is too much. Motherfucker, if you're making $30 an hour, fuck you. You can pay me $10 a week to learn how to make $30, $60, $100, $200 an hour in your pajamas, on the beach, in the forest. What is it? In a box, with a box, in a car, near a bar, everywhere, Dr. Seuss style. Now, charging. I'm super guilty of this. I charge less to learn from me than my students do to read for clients. Mm-hmm. That's just a personality flaw. It's not a lack of confidence. I got an ego the size of a small planet. Anybody who's dated me can tell you that. But when it comes to taking people's money, I feel really bad. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the world is all poor and broke. And yet, $6, $7 in a Starbucks coffee, $20 for a movie. I mean, people buy stuff, good for them. And for whatever reason, I can't get out of my head that I am, taking people's money. Hence, that's the whole reason, like $10 a week. What the hell, man? That's like you get a world-class education. I'm going to Harvard. I'm spending $10,000 a semester. Oh my God. You guys get out for less than $1,000 for 2-year education. Mm-hmm. And that's with study groups and training and talking to me and also hundreds of hours of lessons. So I say all this to It's a mea culpa. It's sorry for the wind. I'm gonna try to stop the wind. Hey, stop wind. I want you to realize wind. You know, it's, oh boy, this is a first world problem, right? I'm at the beach. Here's my office today, and the wind's blowing. I want you guys to realize that lack, not lack, concern for others, you know, the fear of charging too much money, that's kind of a universal thing. You could probably go to a motivational speaker and he can teach you about, you know, valuing yourself, hashtag know your value, that kind of stuff. But in our business, we tend to be very considerate because it is in the nature of divination to open ourselves, to God, to open ourselves to the spirit guides and you know, and the Loa, you know, in other words, our guardian angel. So those wonderful entities that guide us, that give us the information in our subconscious that percolates up through our intuition. This is how we read, right?
Hmm.
It's in our nature, and it's just part of the job to be considerate, and that is rather anti-capitalistic. And I am not an anti-capitalist. I am a dyed-in-the-wool pig dog capitalist. But part of the problem of being spiritually open, and the tarot will really do this to you, is we get extra considerate, we get nicer, and we worry about things like, am I charging too much? So if you don't have a problem with that, you can skip all this. Too late now, right? But for anybody else, I want you to realize it's not you. It's just the way of the world, and it's okay to get frustrated because you want to make more money, but you don't want to overcharge people. And we can talk about that. Yes.
One of the things that I actually learned coming up, all the books I read were like it's a, you know, against the rules to charge because we've been given this gift. And I had to overcome that. That was really super hard to overcome because it was just ingrained in my head. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Just a lot of, you know,
Oh,
like the
I've read those same books. I've heard the same arguments, and it's usually people who've never read that say, "You have a gift. You have to do this for free." And I got two words: Pablo fucking Picasso. $55 million for art? Really? You can't eat that. You can't spend it. It just hangs on the wall. It's not like a cell phone or something. It's a useless piece of crap. It's it's colors, right? Like we
yeah.
all played with crayons in school. Not to denigrate Pablo Picasso or any artist, but the point is that art is a talent. How about all those musicians that make whatever style, you know, insert favorite style of music that you have here? That's talent. Now, granted, it takes work, right? It takes work to develop this talent.
Yes.
Usually, you have to go to school, art school, music school. If you don't go to school, you've got a lot of years of hard training. That's another option. This is why we have a school, Easy Tarot Lessons, because I went through 15 years just to stop being such a dork about this, just to finally figure out how to do it right. Because all these books that I read were, well, they said a lot of the same things because they were all written based on what somebody else had written. So it was just, you know, regurgitating. It was intellectual property theft. I'm going to call it what it was. It was all plagiarism. But then they put their own spin on it. And then, so the books all said different things. And it was like, what the hell? And it was only through decade and a half, or technically, of experience of like trial and error. I was like, oh wait, I see how it's going. And then I started teaching people. And after 20 some years of teaching, I wrote a book. It's like, please let me save you all the hassle that I went through. Again, you don't have to go to school with me. You go to school with anybody. Hopefully you'll be a good teacher. Get your butt in school. Now, people say in a lot of books, and if you read a book or listen to somebody who says, you can't charge, you shouldn't charge, doctors, lawyers, mechanics, all these people are perform life-changing services, yet they charge. So it's all myth. It's all, it's all feel good new age fluff. Like, oh, your spirit guides won't allow you to charge. You should always just take donations. Have you ever seen the donation jar? It's always empty. People will take you for everything you're worth, and then they'll complain. Eh. So you're gonna get plain. You can play some else gonna pay more. So I'm a pragmatist because I've tried it the other way, and there's a lot of just bad information out there. It makes me kind of surly. I don't want to be surly. I want to be happy, but I get frustrated at all these people giving bad information, and then all my prospective students are poisoned by this bad
Yeah.
information. No, no, no. Yes.
I've definitely found that people value the advice much more when they pay for it. Um,
I've read that in marketing books all the time, and I hate it, but I hear it over and over again. People don't value something unless they pay for it. So all these free lessons we're giving, we got over 100, probably almost 200 hours of free audio lessons that cover all kinds of stuff on how to be a kick-ass tarot reader. I Now some stuff you can get somewhere else. I have a card meeting podcast, and some stuff you can't get anywhere else, and yet it's free. So I wonder, no offense to anybody listening, but if you're listening, do you actually value this because it's free? I like to think that people will value it because it's free, but Sharon, we read this over and over and all over the place. People will value it if they pay for it, right?
yeah, and I see it. I see it. They actually, when you do the reading, they listen harder. They actually follow through on what you tell them. My God, when I was giving free readings, doing the same reading for the same person over and over and over again, be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And that would get so frustrating. It doesn't happen anymore. They listen. They actually,
Tell me what tell me what I want to hear. Well, I don't like it, so tell me again. Maybe if
maybe
it's
it's,
good, you'll tell me again. If it's bad, I'll just come back and maybe you'll tell me something else. We've been there. We've all been there. It's crap. It's like, really. Yeah. So look, charge people. But let's get into the happy good stuff. Sorry,
yeah.
this is taking forever. Apologize to everybody. Apologies. Sir. So yeah, I'm at the beach. Hey, you can read your cards anywhere. If you need internet connection because you happen to be reading over the phone, then you can read anywhere where there is internet connection. If you're reading by video, that's fine. If you want to read in person, don't, I should drag your client out. No, tell your client, meet me at my office. Where's my office? It's the beach, motherfucker. It's $8 for parking, and no, I don't validate. Like I want to break the rock around people's heads and let them see that you can do this. There's nothing stopping it. I mean, I'm looking at a bunch of seagulls right now. That's my office mates. Some dude standing up on a cliff about 100 feet away. Go away, dude. This is my beach.
Yeah.
Um, it's
I
just
take
weird.
my cards with me everywhere I go. My office is where I am.
Absolutely. And at $60 an hour or more, that's not a bad way to be. Um, so the thing is, I want you all to experience what it's like. Now, okay, let's get to the nitty gritty. How do I get there? How do I quit my job? It's like, oh, I want to do this. Yay, you sold me. Fine, I'm going to school, or I will go to school, or fuck you, hippie, I'm not going to school, but I still want to make money. All right, if you don't go to school, good luck with this. But we'll tell you how real quick. Give you a short, condensed version. Like I said, every bit of advice here is covered inside the course and study groups and lessons with me and all that. I mean, we don't hold anything back because my job is to teach you, not to take your money. My job is to take your money. I just say, hey, I'll give you a reading. Then I'll happily take your money. But my job is to teach you. I just won't do it for free, except in my free videos. and my free podcast and the free blogs. Oh man, I gotta stop this teaching for free. I don't have a lot of credibility. I'm not going to teach you for free. Oh yeah, I'm doing it right now. All right. So how do we get paid? How do we get out of our boring job? Well, there's a couple of things. Um, Heck, in my day, when you first start, like, now, granted, you should be able to read. So I'm going to assume that you can read. And not like, yeah, I've been reading for 1,000 years. I never went to school. Everybody loves me. It's like, screw all that. If you can actually read cards and people, and it doesn't matter whether you think you're any good, you need your clients to say, oh my God, you're amazing. Oh my God. And they need to say that 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months after. Anybody can be impressed the moment you've done your razzle dazzle. That's not what this is about. This is about they've had time to experience the results, see what worked, see what didn't. They've had reflection time. Do they feel they wasted the money? Oh, by the way, if your clients are tipping you over 50%, it's definitely time to raise your rates.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know. We like tips, but when they get too large, we're like, oh, you know what? We're undercharging. All right, so we're starting from scratch. You can read the cards. That's what I'm assuming here. Now you just want to go make money at it. Um, it's getting tough these days because anybody and everybody. It's like writing a book, right? I'm glad that anybody and everybody and their dog can publish a book, an ebook, a print book. There's 1,000 companies out there that want to take your money that will, quote, help you do this. That's awesome. But the downside is there's a lot more crappy books out there these days, and it's harder to tell the difference. Same thing with tarot readers, psychic readers, astrology readers, crystal readers, candle readers. It's not like back in the day, everybody was awesome. Back in the day, there were a lot of scams. And there still are scams. But back in my day, literally, I worked for two of the first psychic hotlines on the planet. Back in the days of the 900 number, it's like $4 a minute. You had two choices: sex lines or psychic phone lines. I didn't work the sex lines. I just wasn't sexy enough, I guess, but my friends did. But yeah, it was $240 an hour to talk to my ass. I had better have been worth that because I got called all the time. And that was back in the day. So I was able to sit there and get a portion of that money. And we were the hottest game in town. Over time, everybody started drinking the Kool-Aid. Everybody started their own psychic line to make money. Advertisement got saturated. Then the government came in, and then there were scams. Like the Dionne Warwick scam. Not that Dionne Warwick was, she was the face of the company, Psychic Prince Network. Had a few problems. And then there was the whole Madame Cleo thing. Again, she was the face of this. It was the people behind, not necessarily these celebrities. A couple other companies, some that I had worked for, got rated by 2020 magazine.
Ugh.
Wow, Jesus Christ! Forget the fact that we're all hardworking schlubs. We're like, we had to be trained and tested several times. We could walk in the door and start reading for people. And the owner had a rap sheet. It's like, really, you jerk it out. Fine. Oh, looks like I got to get a real job now. So it's just not as easy. I could sit here and say, oh yeah, just get a job on the psychic line. That's the easy thing to do. But the reality is not that easy. So I'm not going to sit here and say, you could do it, because chances are you probably can't. And if you can, you're not going to get paid, like I did. money's not there. So you can read for a psychic phone line or the modern equivalent, same thing. It's just over internet phone line. I think nameyoursstatepsychics.com. Um, that's probably a psychic agency. Insert state name and then add the word psychics.com. Type that in. Maybe that'll work. There are different psychic networks, and it's not that they're bad. Not at all. They have one job, which is advertise, get people to call, and then process those over to a psychic who then needs to do the job. Now, my students, not all of them, obviously, but some of my students make so much money reading for themselves, and I'll tell you how. We've already covered this, but I'll tell you how. That they turn down psychic work. One example is Natasha. She was offered a $7 a minute psychic
Wow.
hotline. That's a premium line, $420 an hour to talk to her. She did the math and said, "No, thanks. I'm making more money. Just doing my own thing." My students do well. My students make money. Now, do they have to work? Yes. Do they have to study? Yes. Is this a guarantee? Absolutely not. A lot of people will study and won't do anything. I don't want that from you. I want you guys to do well. But that's why we're doing this here. There's no guarantees in life. So let's do what we can to tip the scales in your favor. You can work a psychic line. Mandy started off on the psychic lines, and they had a thing where they were doing like flat rate, where you'd spend X number of dollars, like you'd buy a psychic ATM card or something, and then you'd ATM card to talk to a psychic, I guess, and then you'd spend that. You'd call the psychic and then run your bill dry. So there was that kind of thing, or buy it by the block, like you're buying a 60-minute block. So these things do exist. Generally speaking, in Europe and the United States are where the big money operations are. If you are in a location where there is no possible chance for you to read locally, or where you will be persecuted, where you feel be persecuted, you can go online. You can get a U.S. phone number, or possibly even a European phone number. I don't know, but I know you can get a U.S. phone number free, and use that to, do phone readings, apply at various credible, people that actually pay you, and that actually have customers. Internet psychic phone lines. Um, it's probably going to make like 20, $30 an hour at the most. But if that's your only option, there it is. For
That's
everyone else who is not, under the threat of persecution, again, we cover all this in the course. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But there's all kinds of free bulletin board services, local bulletin boards, digital, non-digital. Don't forget your offline stuff. There's always flyers, brochures, business cards, laundromats. There's different ways. The thing is, you need to get the word out. That's all advertising is. Advertising is getting the word out to as many people as possible. That's one avenue. The other avenue is get the best possible word out. Now we're into marketing to as many people as possible. And the third one is also marketing. Get the word out to the highest likely customer, most qualified customer prospect. Then you put all those together, get it out to most people possible. Get you get your ad copy the best, and then target the specific people you want. Trifecta. Referrals are your best option. I tell all of my students, not my clients, but my students. I tell all my students, what's the 100 student rule, Sharon?
We do 100 readings before we start charging. Is that what you
These
mean?
are full-on readings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a little 3-card reading, like a 1-card reading. Sharon was one of my students. Is one of my students, as well as moderator. Um, I demand that my students do a minimum of 100 certified, bona fide, genuine plastic, 100% real readings. No shortcut. I want you to do 100 readings because I want you to get a feel of what it's like. I want you to really experience clients. What did you learn, just speaking for yourself, in those first 100 readings? And I know you read before, but when you did readings before I let you charge, what did you learn? What did you pick up? What did you notice that you hadn't seen before?
Um, People do seem to listen harder. Um, a lot of the people that I read for my 100 were people I had read for before, and they were just like, wow, the difference was huge. The confidence level, my confidence level rose and rose and rose. And I'm one of those fortunate people that I could probably talk to a rock. I'm not afraid to talk to anyone. So I bring my cards seriously everywhere with me. One free reading in the laundromat will get me 3 clients. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I have,
That's exactly what
yeah,
I'm saying. When you do your first 100 readings, what you're doing is you're building a client list. You're building a referral list. You're seeding people to go, wow, this person is going to be charging way more. I'm getting a deal and a half. People will always have problems. People will always come back and go, hey, I got a problem. I thought your life was fantastic. Well, it was, and then I had a problem, or it is, but I got a question.
yeah.
So,
And
um, yeah.
mostly with strangers, it's just they're curious. They want to see what can be done. And then by the end of the reading, they're like, ah, I did not know you could do that with the tarot. And they're telling their friends and they're telling their family. And you got people calling you that you never even heard of. More strangers, but I'm one of those very fortunate people that has no problem with strangers. So just,
And a 3-to-1 ratio. I mean, this may or may not play out for everybody, but that's a good example. Is if you want clients, you want to be able to quit your job, you want to be able to go do what you want anywhere in the world. You just grab your damn cards and go.
yep, I got to
Read
spend
for
what?
anybody.
2 hours in the laundromat, I'm reading. I'm either doing astrology or tarot. And if there's nobody that wants to talk to me, I'm studying.
And you know what? That's the beauty. It's like, yeah, sure, fine. You can have a washer and dryer. That you can't get clients doing that. Take your laundry down to the laundromat. In other words, fine. The laundromat is one of the last public market spaces. I mean, yes, there's a Starbucks, but coffee houses used to be a place where people got together and hung out. Movies, nobody hangs out. They go to the movies. They're like
Yeah.
watching something. Grocery store. There's all kinds of people around, but they're doing something. Laundromat is one of these dying institutions. That, thank God they're still around. Is you have people that are sitting there and they're bored. You have a captive audience. Everybody needs to go do laundry at some point. So it's just one example. I'm not saying any laundromat's going to save your
No.
sole place, but it's a good example. And again, this is all free, so I'm not going to give you our best secrets here.
Well, even
Um,
Starbucks, you just pull the cards out and lay a couple on the table. You got 3 people, 5 people, sometimes even more coming. Ooh, what is that? What are you doing? Are those tarot
yeah, and if you
cards?
can find independent coffee houses, it's even better. I mean, I love Starbucks, but the thing is,
Yeah.
or Pete's or whatever your favorite coffee house is. But um, but yeah, uh, wherever you go, uh, if you if you keep an eye out for it, you'll find places where you can pick up chances to get clients and referral clients. And don't be afraid of running a short term, deep discount in your area. This requires some advertisement to get people in the door simply for the sake of spreading a lot of word of mouth. Again, using a 3-to-1 ratio, it doesn't take a lot of time to read. People you are turning them away. You just don't have time, or you have to raise the rates, which is never a bad thing. Done responsibly, of course. So, what are some of the bad parts of reading? Hey, I'm a reader. I'm at the beach. That's how I get a sunburn the other day. Taxes. You have to really, again, here I got to be careful to say this. Always consult a certified, legitimate tax professional. Don't take anything I say as advice. I'm just giving you like examples. I have an accountant. I make sure I run everything through him. It just has to be him. But it is possible. All these things, when I say you can, preface that with it's possible. It is possible. You can take these tarot books, tarot courses, tarot decks, and they are tax write-offs. You can possibly take your travel and T&E expenses, travel and entertainment expenses, what they call it. That's your Starbucks stuff. That's your, gas to the location you're going to go. It is possible you can deduct all of these things. Downside is you're going to have to keep a lot of receipts. It can be kind of a pain in the butt. What really helps, I had to learn this the hard way. If you have more than one credit card or bank account or debit account, anything like that, but I'm just going to make it simple. Say you have a $400 limit credit card, maybe you have a $50,000 limit credit card. I'm not worried about that. But even if you have something small, like a little $400, even if it's a damn prepaid card, make that card your business card, meaning when you make purchases for your business, always do it on that card. If it's debit card, great. If it's a credit card, try to pay it off twice a month. In other words, keep your balance low, never pay interest if you can. But the thing is, use one account or one card to handle all of your business so that at the end of the year, there's a record of all your purchases. You don't have to find cash receipts or, did I do it on this or that? Try to do it with just one account. And it's as simple as doing one credit card or one debit card. If you do that, you're going to save yourself so much hassle. And you're going to find, you can present all this stuff to your tax preparer. Say, this is what I spent on my business. And they'll say, yes, 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 no, 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 yes, yes, yes. Next thing you know, you're doing pretty well. So little things like that, you're going to have to pay attention to. You're going to have to handle your own marketing, your own advertising. You're going to have to have some serious discipline, and hey, got to get up and go to work. If you have an iPhone or a Mac, there's something called iCalendar. It's built right in. Use that. It's gold. If you have like an Android, they have a calendar, of course, or a PC. There's a billion different calendar softwares, but I just happen to have a Mac and an iPhone. It's built in. I don't have to download anything. I can't even get away from it. It's like, oh my God. So little tips and tricks that you learn from any business, like having a simple, easy calendar scheduler. You don't want to have to worry about your day planner or software being so you don't want the technology to get in the way of efficiency. You don't want to have to worry about learning the software or working with the software, and then it's a pain in the butt. Keep it simple, right? Keep it
Yeah.
simple, stupid. Keep it simple and straightforward. This is I got a cell phone. I got a deck of cards. I got an ephemeris. I don't even need the ephemeris anymore because I got astrology apps on my phone.
Yep.
I'm good to go. I can fly anywhere in the world as long as there's people there. People with a couple of dollars and don't have a couple of dollars. They have a sandwich?
Yeah.
Get in trouble for saying this, but do they have a daughter? Okay, that was a bad joke. Ha 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 ha. Just take it. Look, trading beads, whatever you have to. Like, do they have something of value? That's fair trade. To have a cup of coffee. You can work for as little or as much as you want. I want you to be able to leave the rat race. That was a total joke, by the way. Nobody get offended about that. If you do, write your hate mail to Santa Claus at NorthPole.com. Um, Go back and listen to all of the free podcasts. I mean, I know it's like tons and tons, and some of them are better than others, but we have so much information for you. Give us $10 a week. We will teach you. Not only will we teach you the tarot, we will hook you up with study buddies from all over the world, or maybe in your backyard. Well, so, hey, what are you doing in my backyard? We will we will help you learn because that's what we do. If you don't want to, that's fine, but we can't be responsible for your failures in life. We're just here to help people who want to do something with their life, and that's why we give away all this stuff. Um, the course and the studies groups, they're a little bit more structured than our podcast. Our podcast, we just kind of wander around the place, but um, it's half the fun. We just spend our time here because we like doing this.
Yeah.
If you have any questions that you want answered on the podcast, here's my email address. Write me at dustywhite.net. WRITEME. Right? Nice and easy to remember. Write me at, and then my name, dustywhite.net. I had the .com back in 1999, but I let it go, and then somebody got it, and now it's for sale, and I come in to spend $100 just to get the .com. So don't write .com, write me at dustywhite.net. Say, hey, talk about this. We'll talk about that. We are here and we dedicate hours every week to giving you the highest quality education we can. We give away as much as we can for free. Sometimes we do videos, but we got to kind of get around to that because videos take a lot of effort. But we can sit out at any time, have a phone call, and talk about tarot. So what's it like to during the day of a daily life? Sharon, I don't know. What's it like waking up when you want to, taking calls, or dealing with people when you want to?
I love my life.
Money goes straight into PayPal. Everybody's got PayPal. You don't even have to take credit cards. Oh, look, PayPal is your friend. If you don't have PayPal, get PayPal. Why? Because you don't want anybody to go, I'm not giving you my credit card. And if there's ever a dispute, bling, push a button, you can refund. Problem solved. Don't ever worry about one person's money. There's 1,000 people waiting behind them ready to give you money if you are skilled and genuine and really care about them.
Yeah.
Always satisfy your clients. And like 3 to 1, tell bring more. It's a long episode today, but hopefully you got something out of this. We love you, man. I love you, man. We want you to do this, and if you don't do this, well, fuck you. Why are you wasting my time listening? Um, I want everybody listening to do well. I want you to just do it. And if you're not doing it, write me at justdowhite.net. Tell me why you are not doing it. It's not like, oh, I'm too old, or I don't have time, or I'm too young, or I haven't been trained. All of these things are solvable. So, Sharon, what's it like? I mean, I've been all talking about this. Like, blah, blah,
It's
blah.
it's my dream. It's like I don't know. I do what I love all the time, and I wouldn't. I've had some crap jobs in my life where it's just survival, and it's really nice being beyond survival point, doing something I absolutely adore. Um, I I'm never lonely. Never.
How
So,
many fun? Seriously, how many these people have to meet these qualifications? How many fun, friendly people have you met?
oh my God. I couldn't even begin to count them all. I, I laugh a lot more now and smile a lot more now than I have ever in my life. I'm a lot happier. I a lot of fun people, especially in the school. We had a group just last Monday, I think it was, where we could not stop laughing. And it was ridiculous. It was just one card said the most ridiculous thing to us in group, and we just ran with it and got kind of stupid, but it was so much fun. And it's because we don't, take everything so seriously. We take it seriously to a point to where we're really here to learn, but it's also you I don't even know how to explain it, Dusty. It's a beautiful thing. The friendships we've
That's
formed.
the thing. I've had some crappy jobs. I've had some dark, dark times in my life. Nobody needs to hear about it, even though I do tell you guys. Um, I'm an evangelist. I want everyone listening to do well, and we're doing everything we can, folks. But you gotta get on board. You gotta, and we keep the price affordable. Probably should raise the price at some point, but we're keeping it affordable because we want you to be able to go out and you may not become a millionaire at 30 or 60 bucks an hour. I don't know, maybe you can. Maybe you know some kind of Bitcoin investing strategy I've never heard of. But you'll never go broke. You'll never be hungry. And you'll be making more than anybody else, generally speaking, that you run into, except for, people who are big, damn lawyers and doctors. And that's the thing. That's okay. Let's say lawyers make more and doctors make more. They're starting out 100, 200,000, $300,000 in debt. Here's what you need: less than $1,000, uh, two books, one deck of cards, and a real commitment to learn. That's it. You're out of debt in no time. You're not hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in debt. You're pulling down, and you're doing well. You're pulling down over 100 an hour at some point. We should be
Oh,
done for a couple of years. Yes.
you have one student that I have become very close friends with, Justin, and he reads every other Sunday at a bookstore, and that's the only time because he's got a crazy job that he does regular. But I think last month he made $500 reading every other Sunday for 8 hours. And
Right.
he said that the school has paid for itself within, what, 2 months? And he's got the potential to make more. He just doesn't have the time to commit to it. But he's already making money, and that's 2 days a week. And he's looking in other
2 days a
bookstores.
month.
As you were, yeah, 2 days a month. Two
two
days
days a
a
month,
month.
because every other Sunday.
Yeah, wow. You know my time
Can I get a witness?
concept.
Amen. I love this stuff. This is real life, folks, if you're still listening. This is real fucking life. This life is not a dress rehearsal. You heard all that before, right? So,
Yeah.
shit or get off the pot. Get off my pot. Get off my pot. Get off my lawn. Shit or get off my lawn. I'm going to be old soon, so I can do that. Get off my lawn. I need a cane. Somebody send me a cane and I can wave at people like, there, damn, darn fool teenagers.
Yeah, and he just does it for fun and every other Sunday, and he says the school is more than paid for itself by now. He called me a couple of days ago just so excited because of how much he made last Sunday.
And you know what? It's life. Some opportunities are better than others, but we are the equalizer. We will do everything I can, and you won't find people more dedicated to help you than we are. All right, that's it. EasyTailLessons.com. You do or you don't. Come back next time. We will have more blah 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 and some of it will hopefully stick in your head and make you a better tarot reader. Sharon, thank you for wasting your time with me on this. I'm
I had
going to go
fun.
back to getting my sunburn.
Don't get too burned.
I know I got to come out here again on tomorrow.
We're going to call you Rock
Thank you for
Lobster.
listening, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Lobster, do 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 do. We have to leave. He's singing. Oh no.